Let's take a step back to the 1980s, a time filled with cassette tapes, neon colors, and iconic television shows that shaped a generation. For me, one of those shows was Magnum PI. Every week, I'd tune in to watch Tom Selleck take on mysteries and challenges with his signature charm, wit, and of course, Hawaiian shirts. But Magnum PI was more than just entertainment. Sometimes it delivered subtle life lessons that stuck with me. There's one scene in particular that stayed with me for over 35 years. It's from the very first episode, and it's been a surprising source of comfort during my toughest moments, especially when anxiety and depression feel overwhelming. The scene goes like this.
Don't look at the dogs, work the lock. Work the lock, work the lock. Don't look at the dogs. You looked at the dogs.
Magnum doesn't panic. He doesn't focus on the dogs, the big problem. Instead, he pours all his energy into the small problem in front of him, picking the lock. His logic is simple, yet profound. If he can solve the small problem, the big problem will take care of itself. That 12-second moment of television has resonated with me for decades. Why? Because it's such a powerful metaphor for what it's like to deal with anxiety and depression. When I'm overwhelmed, when my mind feels like it's racing with worst-case scenarios and the weight of the world is pressing down on me, I remind myself of this scene. I take a deep breath and think, don't look at the dogs, just work the lock. Living with anxiety or depression can feel a lot like being chased by those Dobermans. Big, scary problems, fear, self-doubt, sadness, loom large and bark loudly. These feelings can make us feel trapped, overwhelmed, and unsure of where to begin. But here's the thing. Just like Magnum's dogs, these big problems are rarely as insurmountable as they seem. They're often made up of smaller, more manageable pieces. And if we focus on solving those smaller pieces, one at a time, the big problems start to lose their power. It's not easy. I won't pretend it is. But breaking things down into smaller steps is one of the most effective ways I've found to move forward when everything feels overwhelming. Let me share some ways this mindset has helped me, and maybe it can help you too. 1. Focus on one thing at a time. When anxiety feels like it's closing in, the first thing I ask myself is, what's the one thing I can do right now? Big problems feel impossible because they're so broad and undefined. But when you break them down, you'll find that there's almost always a small, actionable step you can take. For example, if I wake up feeling like I can't face the day, I try to focus on something simple: getting out of bed, brushing my teeth, or making a cup of coffee. Just one thing. And when I've done that, I move on to the next small thing. Each step is like picking the lock. It moves me forward, even if it's just a little. 2. Don't try to solve everything at once. Anxiety loves to make us feel like we have to fix everything right now. But that's not true. The truth is, you don't have to solve your entire life in a single day. Like Magnum, you just need to focus on the next task, the lock in front of you. When I start feeling overwhelmed by the what-ifs of life, I remind myself, just work the lock. Tuning out the noise of those barking dogs, whether it's fear of the future or regret about the past, helps me stay grounded in the present. 3. Celebrate small wins. Here's something I've learned. Every small step you take is a victory. Did you get out of bed today? That's a win. Did you text a friend back, even though it felt hard? Another win. Every small action matters because it builds momentum and reminds you that progress is possible. even when it doesn't feel like it. I've found it helpful to acknowledge these moments, even if they seem insignificant. They're proof that you're moving forward, little by little. 4. Let go of what if thinking. Magnum didn't waste time worrying about what would happen if he didn't pick the lock in time. He couldn't afford to. And in the same way, worrying about the what-ifs in life doesn't help us either. Anxiety thrives on hypothetical scenarios, things that might happen but often don't. One of the most freeing things I've learned is this: the only moment I have control over is right now. When I remind myself to stay present, I feel more grounded and less overwhelmed. Life with anxiety and depression can feel like an uphill battle. But this simple lesson from Magnum PI reminds us that we don't have to face the whole mountain all at once. Big problems are just small problems in disguise. And solving those small problems, one at a time, is how we move forward. The next time anxiety starts barking in your ear, take a deep breath. Remind yourself, don't look at the dogs, just work the lock. Focus on the small, actionable steps you can take in this moment. And trust that, with time, the big problems will start to feel more manageable. I've carried this lesson with me for over 35 years, and it's helped me navigate some of my darkest moments. If you're listening to this and struggling with anxiety or depression, I hope it can help you too. You're not alone, and even the smallest steps forward are worth celebrating. Thanks for taking the time to listen. Remember, you don't have to solve everything today. Just focus on the lock in front of you. And little by little, you'll get where you're meant to be.